all your plays are autobiographical, of course, because you wrote them. So, and all the characters are pieces of you because you give them all their lines. So even if you don't, you have to identify with them in some way. But is A Doll's House divorce? Your parents got divorced as a kid, and the play really does grapple with marriage and responsibility and leaving and coming back together again and making a really empathetic case for everyone in that situation. Did that make it a little more personal for you?
Yeah, and it was also a play that I started writing not too long after a significant breakup. So it is my breakup
so you're single,
play.
yeah.
And
it's that song. It's your Taylor Swift play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no longer single. Funny
how that happens when you get a play on Broadway. Suddenly you're not single anymore.
Well, what was funny about it was that I think the play's probably about at least 2 breakups, and one where I think I'm Nora, and one where I think I'm Torvald. So,
what are you doing? I've done everything you asked. Yeah.
So it was. So they're, as they're fighting, I have made both of their arguments.
But you also make the argument of Condola Rashad as the daughter, who's so wonderful in the play, and I finally learned how to pronounce her name as well. It's a big day for me, Nath and Condola. But that is the person you were as a kid, the person with the 2 parents divorcing. I mean, divorce can be traumatic when they get a divorce, and it can be traumatic when they don't get a divorce. Hi, Mom. So it's something that I loved her perspective as well, very much.
Yeah, and I guess there's the thing that sort of I took from myself is I talk about her as being kind of like a very typical child of divorce, and that she kind of acts as diplomat. There's a kind of a distance negotiation stance that she takes with Nora, and I think in my experience very very typical of the child of a divorce. But also a lot of things she says are things that I've heard really really close friends say about their feelings about marriage and relationships, and so there's a mix, there's a blending of different perspectives that wind up in the character Benny.
Are you in a relationship or are you dating?
No, I'm in a relationship, she moved in with me about a week before we opened.
Well, that's definitely a relationship. If they move in, it's definitely a relationship.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's sort of like it's very funny to be opening this play as we're in the middle of sort of making a home for ourselves, and
amid all the chaos.
Amid all the chaos, and also amid the conversation that the play creates, and it's actually going great.
You're like, can we? Well, I should hope so. It's been weeks. I mean, as far as when moving in, but you guys are like, let's use Sense and Sensibility as our template, not A Doll's House. Let's not try and figure out who's Nora and who's Torvald. Let's maybe go to,
No, I mean, I think
I'd take Tracy and Hepburn.
I think she's actually kidded me about that. She'll say, she'll tell me when I'm starting to sound like one of the characters in the play.
And every time you leave, shut the door. I've always thought of Tracy and Hepburn as my ideal relationship. That bantering.
Yeah.
You fight, and then you make up.
Yeah, no, it's not so different from George and Martha too, actually.
Well,
I think
yes.
I've heard the argument made
with the lack of love.
Yeah. Well, who is it? I've been surprised by the number of actors who have done Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf who come away saying, I think it's actually a good marriage. And that's always been intriguing to me, and in fact it's something that sort of is in the back of my mind while writing this play, and I'm very curious what that's a function of. But a number of actors who have played those parts have made the case that they really do believe that they very much love each other, and that this is how their marriage works. But I don't know if that's like Stockholm syndrome of playing those parts.